right. Welcome to another episode of TFC True Fans Chat. My name is
What up?
Michael. I have Ede as well with us. And this is just a place that TFC fans talk about TFC. And that's as simple as that. And what a week it's been, I must say. We got the CONCACAF Champions League just a couple minutes ago finished today at BMO Field. Super exciting game, well, at least the latter part mostly. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the new signing, Ager Aketxe from Spain. Very exciting stuff. And also the upcoming MLS Opener this Saturday, I believe, for the MLS. All right, so let's get started. We're going to talk about Ager Aketxe. And this guy, pretty exciting. He's 24 years old, and which is pretty young, especially for someone that's coming to the MLS. Because MLS is known for being like a very, well, at least it's got the reputation of being like a retirement league. But here we got
Yeah,
a 24-year-old player from Bilbao that played all his life in Spain, played for Atletico Bilbao, and now he wants to play for TFC, and and he's here. Attacking
exactly.
midfield.
Yeah,
What are your thoughts
definitely.
about this?
I like him from what I've seen so far.
Hmm.
Good player. I've watched a couple YouTube videos about his how he plays, and he plays pretty well. Um, say he plays similar to Vasquez, but like he's younger, so he has more more. He's I would say he's better physically.
Right.
When it comes to like pace and stuff. I'm sure he can outrun Victor Vasquez. So when Vasquez is done, he can sub Aguirre in, and he can finish the game. Or
Hmm.
you can start him, or then you can bring in the experience of Vasquez later, depending on the coach's decision. I think yeah, he's gonna be a good fit.
I
Yeah,
agree. Yeah, I agree. Great signing. It kind of does seem that he's like I guess Vasquez's um, not replacement, but let's say Vasquez is obviously getting older, right? And
yeah,
I guess you can kind of see Akache as someone that will be mentored by Vasquez and hopefully kind of continue that role that they both kind of have as attacking midfield. So that'll be exciting to see during the upcoming weeks. We did get to see him play today for the CONCACAF Champions League game versus Colorado, and he came on like the 65th minute for, I think it was Marky Delgado, right? And yeah, and he just well we can talk about it now because he, I don't know if it was his presence, but like he definitely brought a lot of energy, let's say, and everything just clicked.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
they were Toronto was more attacking. There was they had more chances. A lot of nice passing, that's for sure. And yeah, it ended up being a 0-0 draw, but in the it was a two-leg affair, so it was uh, it was all good. Yeah, it was exciting. And for this time in the year when it's still early in the season,
Yeah.
even compared to last year, I think Toronto's in a good start.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Um, I Uh, he played well. He played well.
Yeah, and
He's gonna fit in really well. I heard that Vasquez really helped his move toward to CFC.
right.
So yeah, like you said earlier, I believe um, Vasquez is definitely gonna be like a mentor to him. Help him out around the club and around maybe the city of Toronto. I
Hmm.
won't be surprised to see both of them hanging out together. You know, yeah,
Yeah, both Spanish. Yeah, for sure.
yeah,
Um, and one thing that I wanted to mention is that a friend of mine who was at the game actually today, he sent me a quick kind of like a synopsis of what he thought the game was like. I'm just going to read
Okay.
it here, and we can talk about it. Yeah. So he says, Aketxe looks awesome, but seems a bit uncertain of shooting. He brings lots of energy to the game and makes Vasquez not have to work as hard. The first 70 minutes of the game was tough, though, and I think Tigres would tear us apart if we played like that. Yeah. So yeah, we're playing Tigres. Basically, they knocked out the Costa Rican squad, so we're playing Tigres, and uh,
Quarterfinals.
yeah, and I gotta agree. The first 70 was kind of, um, it wasn't great. Colorado wasn't better, so they didn't really capitalize on their chances as well. So it ended out being a okay game. We didn't let in any goals, which was good. But yeah, versus Tigres, which will be difficult because Tigres is the reigning champion of Liga MX.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I think TFC will play better when they face Tigres in the quarterfinals. I mean, you know,
why is
I
that?
I'm sure they're definitely gonna watch tapes and about how Tigres plays and
Hmm.
study their main players and find a way to like attack and
Hmm.
score the goals that are needed.
Right.
But definitely Tigres is gonna be uh they're gonna be more difficult to play than Colorado. Yeah.
Yeah. No, for sure. Hands down. Um, and also, yeah, what was I gonna say? Tigres. Yeah, yeah. My hope is that because I'm. Oh man, when is the next quarterfinal? I think it's not even until
Uh,
like March, like the middle of March, I think, right? CONCACAF
let's
Champions
check.
League. Yeah. So definitely the hope is to get a bunch of games under the belt.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's still going to be uh, like Tigres in their mid-season form, which is usually the case. But I mean, you know what? It's an excuse that a lot of MLS teams have been saying throughout the years. How like, oh, it's CONCACAF isn't scheduled to benefit MLS teams because it's so early in the season. It's actually in their preseason, right? Because technically this is preseason.
Yeah.
Um, but we'll see. It'll be interesting, that's for sure. And I'm
Yeah.
sure we have like a sellout. No, well, probably a sellout crowd at BMO Field for that game because Tigres is a pretty big club. They got some pretty big
Oh
players on
yeah,
that team.
for sure. For
Yeah,
sure.
got
Yeah.
Gignac, and then they got some guy that plays for the Chilean national team. I forget his name, but yeah, super super scary team, that's for sure. Yeah,
I'm sure playing against them in their own home is gonna be even more difficult than playing here in
yeah.
Toronto.
Let's hope it snows here,
If it
eh?
snows here, we have an advantage.
Yeah, okay. Well,
Yeah.
we do have a lot of like kind of you know players from not so cold countries, but I mean now they're probably not used to that at all. So
Yeah.
we will
Yeah.
see. All right. So the next thing we want to talk about is TFC predictions, and this is the fun part because I love doing predictions. We did predictions last year. We did it with Ede, myself, and a couple two others, Felipe and Eti, not available this year. And all of us are pretty close. We all guessed, I think, Giovinco to be had the most goals. Obviously, he
Yeah.
did. Um, Most of us overshot how much goals he would score
Oh
in the
yeah,
30.
definitely.
Yeah, yeah. I think I
I
said
believe
like
I said like 30 last year.
yeah, yeah, and yeah, it wasn't even close. I forget how many he had. It wasn't even close. I think it was like 17 maybe or something goals. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
less than his previous year, but he was injured, so things happen.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to predict.
Mm-hmm.
But let's give it a shot. So for this year, let's go with the most goals. So I have Giovinco with 20 goals, and that's in 34. We're talking about MLS only, so not Canadian championship. We're not talking about CONCACAF if they go on to further, whatever. We're not talking about, well, I guess that's it. So, yeah, we're not talking about the playoffs. So, just the MLS season, 34 games. For me, Giovinco, 20 goals. What about you?
For me, yeah, I will go with Jovinko with uh I'm hoping 25 goals this season.
All right.
This season, if he's healthy anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
25 goals this season if he's healthy.
All right. And for assists, who do you have?
Assist. It's gonna be difficult. I think the battle is gonna be between Vasquez and Ager, but I
Aketxe?
think I'll still go with Vasquez. Vasquez will probably finish with maybe 8 to 10 assists for the season.
That's
That's
less than
that's my
last
guess.
year. Last year, I believe he had 17, around 15 or something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
So I get you're hoping that a lot of people will be basically helping out with the goals, right? And that
Yeah,
this will
yeah.
be spread out, not
Because
just
like yeah,
yeah. Sounds okay. Sounds good. Yeah, I also had the same kind of not dilemma, but like kind of I was debating whether I pick Vasquez or Aketxe, both attacking midfielders, um, and I just see that Vasquez he had trouble I think last year with in terms of fitness. Like he um, he's not as young as he used to be. So
yeah,
I think that will play in a part with him having less assists than Aketxe and Aketxe having more playing time, hopefully, if he does do well. And I'm sure he
yeah.
will. So I'm thinking Aketxe 15 assists. So there
Okay.
we differ. So that's good.
That's
We'll,
solid.
we'll see how it
Solid right
goes.
there.
Next one, cards. Who will have the most bookings? And this is
Cards.
not like we don't have to worry about how many bookings because it's really hard to predict. But like, who do you think will have the
Yeah.
most cards? I think it's going to be
Most cards.
Altidore based on
Yo,
the
that was my
playoffs.
thinking too.
Okay, there you go. Yeah,
That
there you
is
go.
my thinking too.
Yeah,
Because like, he usually, I don't know why, but he seems
I
to get like cards almost every game.
almost every
Yeah.
game. He's very very physical, so that also contributes to like depending on the ref, if they
Yeah.
want to give him a card.
Yeah.
And yeah, just he likes to get in people's faces. Like last year with
Yeah.
New York Red Bulls question, that was like
Yeah. Yeah.
that was insane. So yeah, all right. So Altidore for that. Okay, newcomer of the year, and this includes you can only pick someone that's that's been just signed this year um, with TFC. So who do you think will be the newcomer of the year? The
Hmm.
most impact, the biggest impact.
Well, I feel like defensively, Van de Veel is he's gonna have a lot of impact because like he's very experienced, right? So I think defense wise, he's gonna be my pick for
Newcomer.
breakout player of the year, newcomer of the year. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay. For me, it's going to be well. Since I did pick Aketxe to have the most assists, I think it's going to be Aketxe. But you know what? It's hard to pick this year because you have
Yeah, we have yeah,
Auro, Vanderweel, and Aketxe, and I mean those are the three biggest I would say. I'm assuming no. Last year was only really Mavinga and Vasquez,
yeah,
and I think we all picked Vasquez that year. But even
yeah, we did.
Mavinga was
Yeah.
pretty good. Like for in terms of impact, Mavinga could give Vasquez a run
Oh
for
yeah, he
money.
played so well last season.
Yeah,
Played really well last season.
it's actually nice to see him get some playing time today because
Oh yeah,
he had some issues with some abdominal issues, and so he got like 5 minutes of playing time, which is good. And yeah, he looked good. All right, and breakout player of the year. So anyone on the squad, who do you think will have an extraordinary year? Someone that takes us to the next level that we did not expect that to happen. At
I
least,
think Endo. Well, I'm hoping Endo.
well, if he gets signed, he's technically not signed yet.
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
I haven't checked up on recently about that. So technically, I don't know if you can pick him really, because
Okay, okay.
yeah, I would go with Chapman.
Chapman.
Yeah, he hasn't had much playing time last year. I remember distinctly him playing against Seattle Sounders last year in Seattle, and that was during the week where we had like a bunch of TFC had like a bunch of games during like a stretch of 2 weeks or something. It was insane. Or at least it was not. It was. That's where they showed. That's when they showed their depth, and Chapman was pretty good in that game too. So I hope. and I think Chapman, if he gets more playing time, will kind of step it up above what is expected. Because he
Yeah,
knows now with all these newcomers, he's got to
yeah,
step up, right? Because that's
yeah.
competition for the same position. That's what creates. That's what drives people to do better. So I'm hoping he does
Yeah,
that.
I think I'll go with Hamilton because like he has played a couple games for the senior team, but most of the time he plays for CFC2.
Hmm.
And yeah, but like when he plays for the senior team, he plays really well, even though he doesn't like get that much minutes. And so I think this season he might get more playing time, depending on how the strikers are, depending on their fitness levels and their injury levels. If they are more injury prone this season, then we're gonna see more of him. If they are not, we have Ricketts, and maybe he might be on the sub bench. Yeah, he
Yeah,
might be on the, yeah.
sounds good. Yeah, for sure. All right, so that's good for the predictions. Now moving on, we'll talk about the last thing, which is the MLS Home Opener, March 3rd, I believe. For it's 1 p.m. Eastern, and that it will be against Columbus Crew, and that's an exciting game because there's a history with Toronto FC and Columbus, which is the Trillium Cup, and
Yes.
I wanted to get into this a bit. Excuse me, because it's interesting. I don't know if Ede, you've heard, but the Columbus Crew are a bit of in a pickle because their owner is kind of wanting. Well, he's saying he doesn't want to, but he says if necessary, he'll move the team to Austin, Texas. And so
Ooh.
there's a huge uproar with the Columbus fans. There's like a hashtag Save the Crew and all that. And you know what? If this is Columbus's last year, this will be the end of the Trillium Cup, as we know it. It's been going on
Yeah.
for about almost 10 years now, starting in
Yeah, since
2008.
2008. Yeah.
Yeah,
So to be like 10 years this year, then.
yeah.
Yeah.
So for those of you that are not aware, like what the hell is the Trillium Cup? Trillium Cup is basically the what's it called? It's well, since Ohio, which is the state that Columbus is in, and Ontario, which is the province of Toronto, is both of those two states, state and province. They both have the national. Their official flower is the white trillium, and that's why it's called a Trillium Cup, and that's why there's like so basically during the MLS season, what whenever the two teams play, whoever is the best team of Columbus and Toronto wins this Trillium Cup, and
Yeah,
so
there's like more points. Whoever has more points.
yeah, and if that
Then,
doesn't, yeah, that's right, yeah, and it's also on aggregate in case there's like a tie and a win and a loss or something like that.
yeah.
Now, what's interesting, and so far Toronto has won the last 2 years, but in Columbus leads the series 6-4.
Yeah.
Uh, so, but you know what? This could be the last year, and do you know why I think this might be? And I think MLS is really weird. They can be very, not sketchy, but very. Maybe I'm being more of a conspiracy theorist here, but the last well, no, it's it. The last, yeah, since 2012, both teams, Columbus and Toronto, have played each other 3 times during the season. Okay, and that makes sense. They're in the same conference, so they play each other more. And
Yeah.
then, yeah, this year they only play each other twice. That's I don't know about you, but I think they're trying to like slowly kill the Trillium Cup. I mean, it's not a big thing, really. I mean, not a lot of people know
Yeah.
about it, but like it just, why two? That's so strange. It
It's okay. I
yeah.
mean, like scheduling wise, there are new teams coming in, so they want.
LAFC though, that's like in the West. I don't think
I
it
mean,
would
like,
impact it that much.
I'm guessing they're just trying to get more games in, right? For like other teams, for new teams and stuff like that.
But there's only one new team, and like last year there were two new teams, and they still only had three. So
I don't know. I don't know what the case is.
I don't know either. I'm just saying that there's something fishy going on here, and it's a shame.
Probably. Yeah.
It's a shame because I love the Trillium Cup. It's not one of the three obviously big domestic trophies, but
Yeah.
it's you know, it's fan base. You know, people love it. It's just not the nicest of cups. I'm not gonna lie. It doesn't look that really appealing, but it's a Trillium Cup. It's something that's been at least for 10 years now, and that could all end soon,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
and that would be a shame. So
yeah, it would.
yeah. Anyways, that's all we have for today. Make sure you guys check out the TFC game on Saturday, March 3rd. I believe
Exactly.
it's Saturday, yeah. 1
Yeah, man.
p.m. Columbus Crew,
Eastern.
BMO Field, so definitely going to be a great atmosphere. Today's game was pretty sick for a weekday match, and
The
technically it's on
stadium was
MLS.
packed, eh?
Well, I mean, there's not packed. I mean,
They had
there was
23,000.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty standard for like a TFC game. Like once it starts rolling and it gets warmer, obviously, a bunch of
Yeah,
other people
for
will show
sure.
up. Yeah, so that'll be exciting to watch. For all you that have been watching and listening, thanks for listening. If you want to
Thanks.
come on the show, let us know. We can hook you up with some Skype call or whatever. And yeah, give us a like, give us a subscribe. Take care.
Thank you.